a container, and I needed to put it somewhere and also test it out to see if it works. But yeah,
And how's that working for you?
it smells good.
Hello, everybody.
That's important.
Hope everyone
It smells
is
good.
hope everyone is doing great this lovely Tuesday, the 29th. Yo, it's gonna be July. What in the
I
world
know.
is
That's
happening?
what comes after
Nuts.
June.
What is happening?
Time is flying, though.
Time is moving. What is this? It's
Anybody
good.
got a pause button?
Yeah, I know. Who's got the pause? I'm trying to find all the remotes that I have in my house.
Oh, that's easy. Just go into a black hole and time is infinitely standing still.
There you go.
4 months till the best holiday, says Dreamy.
What's
Are we
that?
talking about?
I need to start
October.
counting.
I know. I was like,
It's Halloween.
okay. I was just making sure. I was like,
is-
wait. I was like, well, maybe she said no.
La 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 la.
I have a couple friends who get very hyped for Halloween super early. I appreciate their enthusiasm,
I appreciate.
although it makes me feel like time is passing even faster. So,
Right?
I try to stay away from it.
Time to start
personally.
collecting candies and
I
costume
love it
ideas.
when it's actually,
when those
October,
friends start posting, it's spooky season, bitch. It's June. Calm back down.
Every season, spooky season, when you have enough spiders
Like
in your
I
house.
said, I enjoy that they enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
Love it.
I
To
prefer
get
it
us
over the Christmas people. Honestly.
Yeah.
to get us started, we have some announcements.
Spooky dick.
No, I know. First off,
the
I
phantom
mean,
eggplant.
obviously, we have our game tonight. Thursday, we will time to start planning murder one shots. Yeah. I tell you what,
we could
Dreamy.
bring back Lottie and Cornelius.
Yeah, that would be actually kind of fun. I'll give you guys my players, and then you guys bring me your players, and we'll just take turns
Sounds nice.
murdering each other.
Let's do it.
Sounds like a great plan. I love this.
Wow, a battle royale.
Bacon
Knights
Eaters.
of Silver Moon
Hello,
versus-
Bacon.
How about just
The
like
Knights-
horror
Dads
alternate
versus
versions of
Knights?
things?
Yeah.
The Knights of Dads.
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
We'll figure something out. Thursday we're gonna have our next episode of The Rescuers. In the depths of the mall, or the mall's depths, whatever it's called. I should know, but
Knights of Daddy Dice.
Twitch swinging has taken to yes, exactly. Twitch swinging for sure. But yes, we'll be having our next episode on Thursday. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that business. And then this is gonna be a little wonky, but next week I will be guest starring on the Dads and Dice episode. So that's gonna be fun. I get to actually play a game.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
we
It's
are
actually just a DM consultation, but
yeah, that's what I am.
Intervention.
An intervention. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
You get in the game and it's just all the characters asking you questions about DMing
Yeah.
your character.
sure.
Jazz met with the toe rah rah.
Okay. Let's see. I think that about covers it for announcement wise. We are gonna get started on tonight's episode of Game of Santos.
But like, are we though? fell through the roof of a freaking tavern.
This
Oh my
is
gosh. So then
true.
if I cast Charm Person, can it be Spooky Person?
Well, come back to game
Skeletal
of
create
Santos. All right, we have a lot of exciting things in store for everybody. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. To start, actually, let me rephrase that. Last we left off, most of the party, minus Renan, had gone to see Captain Valravn, one of the captains of the Watch here in the city of Veltalar, in the country of Alglorond. The Watch being a sort of quasi-police force of sorts, acting separate from the military and security of Veltalar, the guarding forces there. Their purpose being somewhat to root out those who would create problems for the country with magical means. That being said, the Brigade of 8 traveling further east into the depths of Thay have decided that their cover is going to be a band by the name of Suddenly Goats.
Spooky Goats.
Spooky Goats, right. As you guys have played a couple of nights at a tavern, a local dive bar tavern, an inn known as the Jagged Shark's Tooth, you caught the eye of this captain who decided to try and invite you to play at this grand gala that is going to be happening in 2 days' time for various people of note within the nobles and such of this country, the neighboring countries, including Thay, not they. So to kind of work on sealing the deal, he invited you guys to lunch the next day. Renan, through a miraculous use of divine intervention, caused a 3-day and 3-night fog to cover the city. And during this lunch, the mysterious individual that the party has run into, now known by the name of North, now known by the name of Humphrey, has joined with the rest of the party as a quote-unquote local fanboy who had won a contest of spending the day with Suddenly Goats, a traveling band of some obscurity, but you know, even traveling bands have their diehard fans, and Humphrey is one of them apparently. So, having had lunch with Captain Valravn, you guys had then asked to see the venue where this event would be taking place, and Valravn led you guys through the fog to the upper areas of the city where the castles and temples are located within a walled, kind of like a secondary walled off section within the city. Renan, thinking, or like I should say the group, wanting to be able to be ready to leave as quickly as possible if things go south, Renan gathered the cart and their horses and their things, as well as Aliquin, who has not been feeling too well, took him to a safe spot outside the city, and there he awaits further notification, whatever, of whatever may or may not transpire over the course of the next few hours. North equals some sort of ghoulish groupie. You know what? You're not wrong. So, that being said, currently, you guys find yourselves walking up into the gated area of this palace place of the more well-to-do section of the city. Balravin kind of leading the way as he's kind of walking with his little staff, with his staff at his side. The two monks of the watch that are with him, one at his side and then one kind of following behind you guys, leading you through the foggy streets that are still, even though it's like middle of the day, the fog still hangs thick, and it's kind of almost blinding in a way because that fog just kind of amplifies the light around you, so it just feels like you're walking in this strange cloud. But you guys can see the looming structure of this gate as you walk towards it. The guards there see Captain Balravin, and they move aside, allowing you guys to pass without saying a single word.
And he's leading us into where? Like a giant building?
This is leading you into the walled off area that you had been here before, but there was still more of like the little check-in process where they kind of just like saw that everybody that was going in.
Okay, just the courtyard that we were in before.
So yeah, this is going towards where like the that temple of Saloon was at. Like this is that area, and then you're going towards a section that you hadn't been to, which is where the High Palace is.
Okay.
Because the temples sit on like one side, and the High Palace is still within that same area, but it's kind of just off to another side of it.
How can you tell where for sure you're going? Or have you just walked this route long enough you know exactly where to go?
You're asking about Robin?
Mm-hmm.
I've made my way through here
Oh, let me get you a cough drop. No.
many years.
Yeah? How long have you been captain here?
Captain, I would say time flies. It has been at least perhaps a decade since I've became a captain.
Okay. So where are we heading now?
To the High Palace, the location that we will be having this grand gala.
Wait. I thought we already got there last.
No,
We were okay.
you were on your way there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Y'all back me up on this, but according to my calculations, we did have some gigs lined up in Spandy Line. So we'd have to send message and cancel and pay back the deposit fee. So 2,000 gold seem fair?
Are you asking the group or you're asking?
I'm kind of like saying that to him, but like let the group speak up if they object to it.
I just sort of shrug. Having only been here for a few months, I'm still more used to dealing with Ravnik and Xenos, and have no idea whether that's a good cost or not.
Fair enough. He walks in as he continues. He's like, "That sounds more than fair."
Oh God, I undershot it.
It's a lot of gold, though.
Like, we'll get him next time, Annie.
Do not worry. If there are any lingering problems that you find with your other arrangements in Spandelian, you make sure to talk to me. I will have things arranged for.
Oh really? Does your power reach that far? Or I don't. Forgive me, I don't know too much of the customs here. I'm genuinely interested.
One might say that the Watch's influence is far-reaching. Yes. We have similar installations set up within Spandelion as well. It would not take much for me to send message, send word.
Well, that's good to know. In case wherever we are, we can always just look for one of the watch.
At least here within the peninsula. And now you guys see as you're now walking through the fog, and it's kind of more of this open area. And since this area is a little higher than the rest of the city, I'll say that the fog is maybe not as thick. You can have a little more visibility up here, but it's still present. And you get to the High Palace, and you see this massive structure of large blocks of stone, most of them like almost smooth and like the almost kind of similar to the smooth stones you guys had seen back on the beach. They kind of like that really smooth rock. It almost has that sort of quality to it, but these stones are much more massive. And interspersed every now and then have those black, almost obsidian-like style rocks placed within it. What are you guys doing?
I've done a lot of talking, so I'm just gonna shut up and walk and look at everything.
Best we can in the fog, anyway.
We've gotten up to the palace door, you've said?
Yeah.
I want to take note of how many guards there are around this area, and or like maybe people eyeing us or clenching their weapons a little tighter.
Okay.
Something like that.
Go ahead and make a perception check, but because of the amount of fog that's in this area, we'll say with disadvantage. Still. Sandra, what are you doing?
Thinking.
You know, with this fog, we might be able to use it for the show. Get some lanterns that are directed, some cool lights, you know. Maybe put something sparkly on whatever outfits we use so we kind of shimmer, you know, coming out of the fog. Like ethereal beings, fey creatures. It could be like we're from the Yearwood. You know, sticking with the local theme.
That could be feasible.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Cap?
That sounds like a marvelous idea. Surely it would catch the attention of all those present.
Ooh, we can even have like wooden masks to like give the appearance of just like shrouded all in mystery.
I think that's a great idea, Anita. I'm so happy that we found each other.
Me too. And I'm just gonna like hug her and just like laugh and try to shrug it off as just like playful banter.
What was the roll on that, Humphrey?
An 11.
An 11? Okay. As you get there, coming up to the gate, the front gate of the palace, the front gate of the palace itself has approximately 10 guards. Yeah, but there are about like 10 people that you see there in the front. Most of them are dressed in the armor and colors of the city, I guess, the guard itself. These are not watch members; they are the guard. There is one member of the watch that's dressed in like shining plate armor that is there with them, but he seems to be more like adjacent to them, not so much like in charge of the area.
Any like sigils or special markings on his armor that sets him apart?
Make a perception check for
Nope, that's a 1.
Okay.
It's too shiny.
It's so shiny. Looking over at him, you don't recognize anything else other than the symbol of the watch that is there on his shoulder.
Okay.
But as you guys are walking in, you see this one scribely fellow has like a little monocle up on one eye. Comes up to Valravn and he's just like, "Excuse me, where do you think you're going?" And as he comes to a halt, Valravn just kind of like gestures back to everybody else.
I want to get behind Iskra, like have her in between monocle person and me.
Okay.
I kind of puff myself out dramatically a little.
These are the members of, or some of the members of Suddenly Goats. They're going to be performing at the Grand Gala in 2 days' time.
A pleasure. I do like a really flourishy bow.
Okay. The individual just kind of like takes out this like little wooden tablet that he kind of has, and like you can see there's like little parchments that are like hanging off the side a little bit, and he starts writing down things, and he kind of looks over at all of you. Well, the council is in session at the moment, so you will have to wait a moment until they disband. Valravn kind of looks a little like annoyed. You hear him kind of just mutter something under his breath, and then he kind of comes over and then whispers something into the scribe's ear.
Can I try to perceive it?
Considering the fact that you were hiding behind Iskra, you probably didn't even see it.
Okay, sounds fair.
You can hear him probably hear a little whispering sound, but you don't.
But with the fog and everything,
yeah,
just no.
with who
Gotcha.
and who and what said it, I'm not sure.
Worth a shot.
Squint my ears at him.
Squint your ears. I love that. Please do squint your ears for me with a perception check.
Okay, we'll do.
Your ears just like narrow all of a sudden.
No, that was just an 11.
11. Yeah, it's too hushed to pick up on what they might have been saying there. But the man kind of like takes a step back, and then, well, I suppose just a brief look about the gardens would not hurt. Come come along. And he kind of gestures for everybody. Valravn and the guard pass. Sonder and Soul pass. Humphrey passes. Iskra and Kindred, you pass.
Appreciate it, buddy. Like, finger guns at him.
And you guys continue to walk in to the gates. You see this giant portcullis that kind of hangs above the gate entrance, and then beyond that portcullis are these two massive wooden doors that have that are like open up to the side. And you guys continue on through. What are you guys doing? Anything else?
Just kind of taking in the scenery, looking at my surroundings as best I can with this fog.
Well, now that you're inside, there's not as
Oh,
much
it's like-
fog. Yeah,
oh,
now
so
you're
we're in a building.
in the
Okay,
building.
this is an enclosed space.
Okay,
You are now
So-
walking into the interior of this high palace.
I want to get a bearing for the layout of the building where we are now.
Okay. Go ahead and make perception checks, all of you.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and
Ooh, nat
specifically
20.
look up.
Okay.
I go from low to high.
Nice.
Hey, I did pretty well too. A 23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
19.
19.
21.
So then in total it's 22.
Alrighty.
Getting out of that fog really helps.
Yo, no joke. Apparently. Walking into the inside of this castle interior, Iskra, as you look up, you can see these like vaulted, or yeah, that's right. Vaulted is when it goes like that. I think that's the right terminology. But yeah, these like vaulted ceilings that are probably about 25, 30 feet above you guys in this little entrance hall. You can see that along the side there is like a secondary portcullis in front of you guys as you guys are entering. So it's like almost two that are kind of can like separate from the very front door to what appears to be like the very entrance inside the castle.
Interesting.
So there are two sets of doors and two portcullises here. Looking around at the interior, you see a lot of very fancy wood like molding that kind of goes up halfway up the walls. Very paneled, I guess it's more paneled wood is what I'm thinking. That kind of goes up along the side, and on the very top of it, above that, is like this almost velvety red texture that kind of just goes up to the top, where then these dark timbers, cross beams come across, making the ceiling. There are various candelabras, I guess, like the standing candelabras that give light to this inner area. And this first area that you guys are walking into does appear to be some sort of like welcoming hall, some sort of grand hall. Your feet echo, except for Iskra's, echo in the of the interior as you guys are walking across this like very smooth marbled surface. Velraven kind of gestures around. This is, or once was, the home of the Amerion family. They were the royal line here within Veltala. But it is now the home of the council. And they meet within what had once been the royal chambers on the upper floors. So we won't be disturbing them, and so unfortunately we won't be giving you a full tour of the palace. But I managed to convince the old fool to let us into the gardens. After all, who's going to say no to the captain of the watch? Just kind of laughs to himself.
I spies member Iskra. I would say no.
I laugh a little. Out loud. Because who knows?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, he laughed too, so, you know, that was,
And
it was his own joke.
Are the council discussing anything in particular today, or is this just a regular meeting?
With those old fools, who knows? They tend to have regular interactions with each other. A lot of the time, it's simply posturing as advancing the country's interests. But occasionally they do serve a purpose and get things done.
Not open to the public, though, eh?
No, not quite. Kind of leads you past the an entrance that goes down a hallway, and it's funny because it almost reminds you to some degree of the way that the school in Silvery Moon was built, where it has like that inner courtyard, and the castle kind of wraps around this open garden area in the middle, but it's not as ornate or as large as that school was. Mm-hmm. So at most it goes up probably 3 or 4 stories. But from the outside, you had seen before that there were various like towers, turrets, and watchtowers that kind of space out in this for this castle. But now you're passing by this like one open chamber that kind of opens out into the gardens on the outside. And you are now kind of standing there at the edges where you can see out into the garden there. There's a giant water feature that sits there in the center of this area. And it's
Like
a
just like a
beautiful
circular fountain?
Yeah, it's a little
or-
circular fountain. The entirety of the space is probably, I would say, 75 feet across that way, and then probably about 100 feet long that way.
So this
But-
is where they'll be performing?
Well, you will have your choice. You may either perform here or within the ballroom. But unfortunately, the ballroom lies on that side. And he kind of points across the furthest end to another set of doors that are now closed. You can see guards in front of them. The council will be meeting currently, and he kind of points upwards. And you can see that back section of the castle has whereas most of it goes like the 4 stories up, this back section has like another piece that kind of goes up to like 5 or 6 stories, like about 2 stories higher than the rest of the castle, but set in the back. And it looks like what you would have assumed to have been like the royal bedchambers or something. Like it's set apart from the rest of the castle and then kind of just raised up higher to kind of overlook everything else. And he's like, so that section of the castle is currently off limits. We don't want to bother them anyway.
Nope. I kind of like this outdoor space, but y'all are the ones playing.
We can take a look at the ballroom, decide what would suit us a little better.
If you are wanting to come and see the ballroom, we might have to make a second trip this way. We are not able to go over that. That's why he was pointing over there to where it was closed off. So you can't see the ballroom at the moment.
Can can we see, like the levels? Is there any windows or openings or like balconies at those levels?
In this center section,
Yes.
yeah, there's a few little it is very atrium style. Like there's a few windows that kind of are there facing the inner garden, and then there's a few of those windows that have smaller little balconies that are attached.
Is there a lot of ruckus going on? Besides, of course, the meeting that we hear?
That you've seen as far as like around in the castle itself? No. It's pretty empty, except for the occasional guards that you've seen like making patrols and stuff. There hasn't really been any sight of anybody else.
Then, would it be possible if I can use my Echo Avatar, because I can use that one at greater distances, but only for 10 minutes, to kind of echo that and my consciousness up there and try to get a better look around? Because I also have blind sight, which means I can just kind of keep myself with the group blindly.
So yes and no.
Bye, North. No.
You can definitely attempt to cast this, to have. I'm assuming you want the avatar to go up to one of the balconies. Is that what you're wanting? Okay. Yes and no, because as I recall, I think this particular ability, you are not able to use your senses regardless of blindsight or not in your person. Because if you're putting your senses over there, it basically works the same way as a familiar. So you can't hear or see anything on your side. I don't think blind sight would allow you to counteract that. but it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I'd have to do more research because here it says you can temporarily transfer your consciousness to your echo. As an action, you can see through your echo's eyes and hear through its ears. During this time, you are deafened and blinded. So is that would be
Yes.
all my senses?
Yeah, those are all your senses would be, because basically you're moving your whatever you can sense over there.
Alrighty.
And also, this one is a free one. You do have one of the monks that is behind your group, and they as much as like you're not under like heavy guard, they are watching your every move. So suspicious activity may be not so welcome. Just giving you a heads up, but you can still do it if you want to do it.
He's a witch. No.
A witch.
Can I
I'll
just
save my party trick for now.
Okay.
So then, knowing we can't go to the ballroom, I'm just gonna do a perimeter of like little garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Valravn kind of steps down a couple of steps and he like gestures out to you guys. You guys are free to kind of like look around.
Oh, great.
Just want to look at some vantage points, see where like we can assassin some peoples.
Yeah, I'll just start to mosey around too then. Is the garden like, is it like low topiaries, or is it like really jungly, or like what's
No,
it, like
it's-
just lawn?
It's kind of lawn with like little the little gravelly like stone paths that kind of go
Like
up
in
towards the
The second Maleficent, the castle at the battle at the end.
Yeah, but I'd have to like I
Oh.
think so, probably kind of along those lines if I'm remembering if
It's
I'm
like
thinking what you're
garden, but it-
thinking. Yeah.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, a really fancy lawn that has like the gravel paths that come from each section
Alice in Wonderland.
into the center where the water feature is. And then like in the
Gotcha.
little corners of the lawn there are like little shrubberies with really fancy looking flowers.
So I'm gonna go pretend to go look at the flowers. About how far away am I from like the closest monk?
One of the monks stays with Valravn, and one of the monks kind of follows you guys like to where he stays in a general vicinity of all of you. He kind of like allows you to spread out, but so he kind of stays where he's an equal distance to any one of you.
Gotcha. So
any
if I'm
given
kind of
time.
like around 10 feet from him, I'm gonna pretend like look at flowers and shit. I'm gonna spice remember Renan. Just, how you doing? Everything going all right with the horses and the Aliquin?
Aliquin's condition isn't particularly grand, but I'm treating him as best I can on my own. Other than that, yes, we've made it outside the city and I am awaiting any call.
What side of the city are you on?
I think that would be the west side, correct?
I don't know. It depends. If you're trying to if you're going more for the harbors on the north side of the city, they are currently on the south part of the city. So west would be going back the way you guys came, or if you're
East.
going east, so you'd be on the eastern side trying to go out away. So
Eastern side.
Okay. All right. Any landmarks we should look for in case we need to make a speedy getaway?
Would I recall any, Aaron?
Make a history check. As you
Dun,
were
dun,
focused
dun.
on finding an apothecary at the time.
Oh, you look like one of those French girls, Renan.
26.
26. 26. Leaving this side of the city, there's not, aside of a couple of buildings, It was really foggy, so there wasn't anything major that you have seen that may serve as a huge landmark of any variety. It's just the main entrance and exit off the eastern side of the city, or the biggest one, I should say.
Okay, so just head east and look for the carriage and the horses.
And that's my other question would have been, were you gonna put the carriage? Like, is it directly outside the city walls?
No, I would have gone at least far enough, maybe like 100 yards outside the gate.
Okay.
Just
in which
so that-
case, there is a strong chance that this conversation never happened
Oh,
because you only have a mile range.
right.
So if you're wanting to stay within earshot, you'll have to be a lot closer to the inside of the city walls.
Go park the horses and carriage and come back. No.
So
Just don't forget to pay the meter.
how about 10 yards? Because you said that with the fog, basically, there's only what 10 feet worth of
10,
visible.
15 feet, yeah, especially closer
Okay.
to the harbor.
Yeah, so 10 yards being, puts me outside of line of sight of anybody at the wall or at the gate.
Mhm.
So probably 10 yards in there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
So just outside the
Basically,
main
yeah,
entrance.
10
on the eastern
yards
entrance.
outside the city gate.
Okay. So then after that, I'll just spice member to the res lake, give him the update where he's at in case shit goes down, and so I mean, this place looks fine. We could work with this. This gives us an idea. It just we probably want to head back. That way we can start planning outfits and get everything together, right, guys?
I kind of look around and see
Right.
if everyone's mostly gathered. Makes
Right.
sense to me.
I mean, we don't want to rush last minute outfits in front of such high ranking dignitaries. That way we could take our time.
I'm just gonna take one last look, I think, if you don't mind. Captain, if we were to choose out here as our venue, where would we set up? Or is that up to us?
Mostly, it is up to where you would like to be. There, he gestures towards the ballroom, and you can see at this ballroom area where the garden the garden ends. And it was the same kind of wherever you entered. It was just kind of like a little mini porch that kind of like steps down into the garden. The one on the opposite side where the ballroom at has probably about a 20 or 30 foot porch that goes under the building before it hits the wall where the entrance into the ballroom would be, and you have these really grand doors. So it's more of an open yet covered area of flat surface there versus the other side. And it's kind of these walls, it kind of runs, this little mini porch runs all the way around, but that back wall provides the most space, whereas the rest of it probably has like 10 feet maybe before it hits wall.
That looks about as good a place as any, but then again, I don't.
You hear
Your
somewhere
opinions are important to me, Anita.
somewhere
Whether you
from
play an instrument or not.
somewhere
Would we
from
still-
above. You hear the sound
Would y'all
of a,
still be able to use? Oh, sorry.
go
Go.
ahead. Oh. Go ahead.
No, you go.
If a hobgoblin could blush, no.
I was gonna say you guys hear a bell going off.
What's that?
No, you go. No, you go. No, you go.
No, you hang up.
the captain kind of looks up. It's like, it would seem the council has adjourned for the day.
Ah, we're
Perhaps-
in luck then.
Perhaps you will be able to see this ballroom after all. provided they vacate quickly enough. It is a council full of politicians, after all. Sometimes they run for the hills, and sometimes they linger for eternity.
I politely chuckle at that remark.
Renan, what were you gonna say? Not Renan, sorry. Styles.
Well, it was actually fleeting, but now, since the bell is rung, is there any indication that that bell actually signifies something political, or was it more of like a hurried sound the watch bell?
It came from the somewhere within the castle, like on the outside of the castle. It wasn't from one of the towers. It didn't echo from somewhere else in the city. It came from like
So it was very uniform.
Yeah, it came from the castle itself.
That's what.
So then we're all just kind of like waiting for the ballroom to clear out.
Is that what you're wanting to do?
So will they be coming out passing us, or do they go a different way?
It is unlikely. They usually prefer sticking to the corridors, going back to their rooms. At least the ones who stay here within the castle.
Don't want to get caught by any journalists, huh?
I suppose not. Some of them are rather private. Others adore the attention.
So I want to go back to like the bushes where the flowers are.
Hmm?
Is it directly by a monk?
Currently from where he's at, the monk is kind of standing closer to the water feature since everyone's kind of spread out.
So about
Not
5 feet or
particularly.
more,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they like low, high? Like
Bushes, they probably go up about like 3 feet at the tallest.
I want to find
Those really manicured, like little globes of bush.
I want to find the the smallest hanging flower. I want to bend down, like I'm looking at it and smelling it, and shielding myself with the fog and everything. I want Malzahar to slip out
There's no
and
fog.
curl it. Oh, there's no. We're inside.
You're inside of the garden area inside of the castle. So the fog doesn't really come over the top. I mean, it's like a little hazy here, but it's not nearly as foggy as everything else. But you can still attempt to do so.
I will try, and knowing there's not as much fog, taking extra caution to hide him.
Yeah.
And I just want him to go straight into the bush and just curl up, hide.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
And
Make
yeah,
a sleight of hand check.
oh,
What are you doing, North?
Well, I guess I'm just kind of hanging out with the rest of the group, waiting to see
See what
if we
happens.
can actually go into the ballroom. And you mentioned something about the council members, that most of them stay in the castle or in the palace.
Yeah, some of them. I said some of them. Yeah, some of them.
that is a 14 for sleight of hand.
Okay. Were you gonna say, Sonder?
I want to do like a mental map of the gardens.
Sure.
And then if I can, kind of start out with a crude drawing of the area where we would be playing. As, as a cover, just trying to map up that area, but then mentally thinking about what the rest of the place looks like.
Right.
A dot here, a dot there to kind of
Alrighty.
tell what the outer areas are.
All right. So, oh God. Well,
Yes.
yeah. Good job, Graham. My head canon for this evening is that Alcuin had to take Soul to the vet. Right now, they're waiting sitting in the waiting room while a grumpy Soul sits with crossed arms, face hidden by the large coat around his neck.
Oh. Echo needs to draw that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Yeah, once he's secured, I'm gonna stand back up and just walk over like nothing and try to ready to go wherever he leads us.
Okay. Renan. God damn it. Sonder. Make a. I guess like either like a perception check as you're like looking around and like kind of taking it all in to write it down, or sleight of hand, whichever one.
17 for perception.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get a decent size, like a decent handle on what you have around you, and the places you might be able to use for your advantage. Across the way, the entrances to the ballroom start to open as like the servants start opening doors. The guards kind of move over to the side, and you can see on the inside there's a couple of individuals that are like walking past the doors, still walking, like basically walking to the ballroom, but they're like walking from one end to the other, and they seem to be from where you're standing now. There's not a lot you can make out other than the movement of going across the ballroom. You can hear the steps of boots and heels crossing the wooden floors of the ballroom on the inside there. While Robin kind of walks over to where the most of you guys are at. It's like, it would seem we are in luck then. If you will follow me, I will let us take a tour of this ballroom to see if it is up to your standards. And he starts leading you in that direction.
By when do we need to make the decision of
Your
whether
units.
we will be inside or outside?
The sooner the better, obviously. Best to plan it out in advance.
All right.
Captain,
Yes.
would it be possible to go to the little Gobby's room?
He kind of like smiles for a moment and then nods. Daylor, escort the young lady to the facilities. The monk that had kind of been watching you two or you guys separately now comes up to you, Kindred, bows, and then like gesture and like offers an arm.
I
With a
curtsy
gesture.
back, and then I'll take his arm.
Because he kind of just like offers it out for you to, and he just like leads you away from the rest of the party and back into the castle the way you came.
Okay, just look back at Esker like, oh, be careful, he might steal me away. I'll catch up with y'all in a little bit.
Hey man,
You
they're getting
said-
fresh.
Daylor is just Daylor has like no expression on his face. He's just like nods and takes Kindred into the castle.
I'm gonna message this girl. You're going by Delia, right?
That's right.
Delia, I was creating a kind of a blueprint of where we should be placed. I think we could put the larger instruments right here.
Take a look.
I'm just kind of showing you that I am mapping it out.
Right. Like, yeah, I really trust your judgment with this. I mean, you're the key to our success. So
Right. If I can get the ballroom, I can see what may be more advantageous for our sound. I don't want it to be washed out by there being no acoustics outside.
for sure,
Valravn
it'd be
starts-
shame to lose the dramatic effect of the fog, though. Definitely something to consider.
Right. There's some pros and cons, and I guess we'll go over this when we have the time.
And then I'm gonna spies murmur Sonder also. Like, did you notice any other ways in or out of here in case we need to make a quick getaway? That double portcullis thing has me a little worried.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best place to get out if we did need a quick getaway.
Having looked around, you see that there are the various balconies at different levels over the gardens. Some of them have doorways that are open. You can see the very little, but you can see that it goes into the castle. You haven't
have
seen.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. You haven't seen much in the way of like entrances and exits from this place, though. That seems to be the main one that you've seen up to this point. But Valravan kind of motions you to follow him, and he and his remaining guard go up to the ballroom area.
We outnumber them. Take them out now. No. Divide and conquer.
I was thinking. Oh,
No, go ahead.
I was thinking if we were to find a place either inside the ballroom or near the gardens to put a secret portal, and then another one over where we are at. Maybe that could be our getaway if it all goes to shit.
Be worried about magic detection, but it is something to consider.
Something like in the closet or something
Just,
like that.
with all this fog, keep a lookout for, somewhere to warm up. Like fireplaces.
Right. Yeah,
I almost
I was
whispered
thinking
in
of
my
that
spies
too.
murmur.
Yeah. So as you guys walk up, are you following him?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I figure we would have walked and
Okay.
looked at the map together.
Walking into the ballroom area, it is as you would expect, a incredibly massive, very elaborate ballroom. That entryway had kind of been, it still has that same wooden panels, but now above it is now this like the white walls that have this golden like overlays over it that kind of just lattice their way up to the very tops of the ceiling where these large chandeliers come down. It is a very, as you would imagine, royal looking ballroom. And you can see Valravan as they're the last of the council, followed by their guards and personal attachments of various aides and stuff, kind of go down this other hallway where the doors are starting to close. One of the council members remains behind. A woman with what looks like a very simple brass like tiara that kind of goes around her head. She has her hair tied back in a very tight braid. I think it runs down the very center. She's like, what you know when you look at a person, you're like, this person is OCD because everything is like perfectly symmetrically arranged on them. That's how this person looks. She comes up to you. You guys probably in her, supposed to say like late 40s to early 50s. This human woman that comes up, and she comes directly over to Valravan, and Valravan turns to you guys. It's like, we are in luck. This is Elael Valerius. She is one of the councilwomen here within Veltula. These are the individuals I have been telling you about. The ones I wish to have come and play for us at the gala within a few days. She comes over and like does a very polite and courteous little like nod and bow to each of you.
I'm gonna do my flourishy bow. Charmed.
So, the captain speaks very highly of you. Are you sure you are up to the challenge?
I'm going to test the theater, and like when she says that, I'll go ahead and sing like a operatic.
Okay, make a performance check for me.
Okay. Oh shit. Let's see.
Oh, are you singing Black Eyed Peas or what? Oh
Um,
shit!
oh, let's
Y'all
see.
don't get none of this up in
Wait,
Thay, do ya?
actually, that was 16?
16?
16 total. Yeah.
It's not bad.
He's just the backup singer.
You've now been demoted. But yeah, no, the acoustics in here are very nice. So you find that it carries your voice really well on the inside. And the stern face of the woman just kind of like you have the briefest of an eyebrow arch up.
Gonna say after Sonder tests the acoustics, he goes, it's a perhaps a more important crowd than we've played before, but our worldly stylings will charm anybody, I'm sure.
Mm. Well, you seem to have acquired the captain's interest.
He knows
So-
his music.
He does.
Hmm.
Captain, if I may, I have a moment of your time. And she like pulls the captain over off to the side, probably about like 20-25 feet away from you guys. He just kind of like, as he was like walking, he just kind of, oh, excuse me. And they kind of start talking in hushed whispers.
I'm gonna slap Humphrey on the back and be like, hey, Humphrey, what do you think of this, huh? Look at what you get to experience today.
Styles.
Jeez.
Did you hear?
No, I was trying to navigate something else on Twitch.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. I slapped you on the back and I said, hey, Hump, what do you think of this? It's what an adventure you're having, huh?
Oh, this is so cool. I'm just really glad to be here. In the loop of all things. This is gonna be so cool to be in here watching y'all play too.
Yeah, meeting a real councilwoman in this wonderful grand ballroom. I mean, what do you think so far?
I mean, I just can't wait. I mean, I'm sure all the council members are gonna love us. Y'all, of course. And I kind of look over at Sana and Iskra, and it's like, I don't know what to do here.
All right. As this is happening, Kindred, you are being guided to the bathroom or
So-
a lavatory of some sort.
A laboratory?
Lavatory.
Leviosa. Can I just do like a general charisma check to see if I can get this monk like small talking? Can I break a shell? Can I get under there?
What would you like to say?
Just ask him how long he's been doing this. Does he like this? Like, what kind of monk is he? What order is like? Try to see like if he'll react to anything.
Okay, make a charisma check for me.
Okay.
You can use persuasion if you wish.
Oh, okay. Yes.
All right, persuade him to talk.
Yeah, because that's a +6, and I got a 17. So 23.
23. He says nothing.
Bitch.
The only thing he occasionally, with certain answers, will look at you and will nod his head in the affirmative or shake his head in the negative. Like, if he enjoys it here, he kind of just looks over at you and just kind of does a slow nod of his head. But
Kind of want to do one of those like, all right, did you have to take a vow of silence? Blink once if yes, two if no.
Do you actually ask that, or you
Yeah,
want to
like
ask that?
kind of joking around with them. Wait, was that two
What was
blinks?
it? What was no? I was no. Sorry, I was thinking to myself. What was the persuasion check again?
What did I roll?
Yeah.
23. Wait, yeah, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 23.
When you ask about the vow of silence, he just kind of turns to you and opens his mouth, and there is no tongue.
Oh shit.
Arcana check? Do I know like this is would I know anything about this?
Arcana or history, your choice.
They're both the same.
Okay.
Nat
Freaking
20.
called it.
Nat 20, so
A
29.
total of 29. Not really.
Damn it.
You know, I mean, because this is not a normal order. Like, you know of vows of silence of other orders, and none of them have any sort of like intensity like this. Like,
Not like Freck or them. Not Freck.
right. Yeah, the shadow, the Iron Shadow, while they are silent, they still have the ability to talk. And you know, obviously this doesn't really answer the fact that if it's all of them or just or just him in particular, but it kind of like catches you off guard, and now you kind of realize, oh, that explains a bit. Make it intelligent. Make another intelligence check. Yeah.
Lux ran out. Rolled a 6, so intelligence. 11.
11.
You just
Putting-
think you.
Putting things a little bit into perspective, you start to remember, and I'll say that, like, you notice things pretty well. Anytime you've seen these monks, like at dinner, they had soup. You've never seen them like really have physical food. Even when they've seen this some at the tavern, you've seen them drink water. You never saw them drink like ales or anything. They just
No solids.
It just seems like it.
Mush monks.
Mush monks. Is that an order that we're gonna have now? It's the order of the mush monks.
The mush.
Yeah, they have the mamushka.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And hey.
All right. So, that being said,
So then
you are
once he
led
takes me-
to. He doesn't say anything else. Do you say anything else?
I kind of want to just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I hope I didn't offend you asking all the questions. I'm doing it again. I'll keep talking. I'm sorry. I'm just going to shut up. And then just...
He just kind of shakes his head in the like, it's fine kind of thing. And then he gestures to a room where you can find a small little like powder room.
Okay. You're going to be right outside the door, right? Okay. I want to go in. Is it like a private, or is it like, you know, like when you go into a restaurant bathroom?
It looks like
Great.
it's just a larger. God damn it! It is. It is a big private bathroom, so it's almost the size of like what you would imagine would be more like a public space, but it is more. I mean, it's a castle, so this one's kind of a little larger.
I want to do that thing where I like look through all the stalls, like make sure there's feet, and then I want to like get in a stall.
There's no stalls,
And-
but yes.
Ew. A squat? No. I don't know if I'm within range or not, but I gotta try it anyway. I'm gonna try to go into Mal's senses. So it only works if I'm within 100 feet. I wouldn't know if I am or not, so I try it anyway.
Yeah, you're about 100 feet away, so that's fine.
Okay.
You go into Malice's senses, and you are now whoosh, back in the garden.
I want to go back to the door where we've entered the garden from and just get a look for like the double. You said it's a.
There are like 4 doors that are like really fancy, those like French door style things, and they kind of open up into the. That's where you guys first entered into the garden from.
Okay. Is there any guards standing by the doors?
There are 2.
Okay, I don't get too close.
One
but I
on
just
either
look
side.
at him. I just look at him and see. And
Make a stealth check for me.
Oh god. Oh, I gotta pull his senses. I just want to do a quick investigation perception with him. Just try to like see what he sees without the watchful eye of the guards. And he's got a stealth is dex, right?
Mm-hmm.
12.
Okay. You managed to go unseen by the 2 guards.
And so then can I just
Sneaky
do like
snake.
a perception roll?
Sure. Just for the entrance right here.
I kind of want to get like I don't want to take up too much time, but just do like a thorough swoop of the place. Better than like we could with the guards watching us.
Of the garden and patio area, or inside the castle?
A garden patio area, looking for like entrances or like weak points, windows.
I will say, without even having to do a roll, you only saw the only entrances to the garden itself were either to the from the ballroom side or where you came in from.
So just
there are windows that are along the. So if we'll say you came in on the north side, the south side is the ballroom. The east and west side have windows, but they're like about 2 feet off the ground and curtained.
Big.
About 4 or 5 feet across.
Okay, so worst case scenario, we could try to maybe blast through one. But okay. So then, not want to like be suspicious. I'll keep him. He'll go back to the bush, or he'll go back and hide, and then I'll come out of his senses and I'm done.
Ooh, better roll.
What was that?
It's from Among Us.
We're all
It's the
dead.
sound of don't be sus. Is the sus sound? No, never mind. Anybody who's played Among Us would know that that's the suspicious thing.
Opening start.
Yeah.
That is so fetch.
Somebody press the button.
Dum dum dum. Okay, so you're
Trying to make
looking
fetch
around
rolls,
for that.
okay.
Renan, what are you doing? Just waiting.
And I run so
Okay.
far.
Nobody's told me to blow up a tower yet, so that's
I
pretty much where I'm at.
All right. So as you are there, are you like inside the wagon or outside the wagon?
I would say like sitting on the back steps of the wagon, so that if Aliquin makes any noise, then I can go straight to him. But I'm also sitting in such a spot where I can like, spontaneously explode things if I have to.
Schrodinger's wagon. Got it.
You hear from inside the wagon the door. I guess, are you sitting there with the door open or closed? The back of the open. Okay. Then a hand is placed on your shoulder. Aliquin is awake.
Okay. The good news is I have the alert feat, so it doesn't even scare me.
No,
I'm just
it doesn't.
like,
that's why I was just making sure, like, if he had to open the door or if it was already open, then he like puts his.
oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there, like, grinding up some more herbs, and all of a sudden, just a hand. Most people would not react well.
Yeah.
in
Of all
a
sudden,
very
as you're
foggy place.
staring out into the fog, and a hand suddenly falls on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Aliquin's staring out into the fog.
You're awake?
Oof.
Yeah.
Do you feel better?
No. You're still like looking up into the fog around where you guys are at, or where it's parked right now. You're just staring out there. Have you seen anybody?
Not in some time, no.
How far away from the gate?
About 30 feet, give or take.
His eyes kind of just focus on one spot. And then you hear footsteps coming your direction from the city gate. 3 people emerge from the fog about 10-15 feet from you.
Oh, fuck.
3 men. Dressed in ordinary clothing for the most part. You can see they have cowls and like on, but they're not like full cloaks and like roby mysterious. They just kind of look, the in medieval style where it just kind of like it's a little mini cowl that it almost looks like a crop top jacket, but it just kind of comes up around like here. But they kind of have it like that covering themselves, and they, there's a little air of dampness to everything. Is like with this fog,
Yeah,
it's just kind of has
it keeps the moisture off of you.
right. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like everything around you kind of has this like general dampness to it. These 3 individuals walk up to walk towards you guys, and you can feel Aliquin's hand on your shoulder kind of like tighten a little bit. And
I look out at the 3 individuals. What time of day would it be by now?
it's like middle of the afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oi. We're not here to speak with you. We're here to speak with that one.
Well, I trust that your lungs work well enough to speak from there.
They kind of stop. Yeah, they do. Aliquin. Do you have it with you? Aliquin just kind of like,
Oh.
no. Not anymore. You see the one that seems to be talking looks over at the other 2 guys. I'm back at Aliquin.
That's alright.
Well, that's a shame. Who'd you give it to? You didn't give it to the Brotherhood, that's for sure. And Aliquin doesn't say anything for a moment. The man in the middle raises his hands. We don't mean you no harm. My name is Maros. I'm with the Brotherhood of Zul. I believe you once had a map that belonged to us. Given to you by a member of our own. We'd like to talk to you about where that map went. And that's where we're going to go to break.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Bro.
don't go anywhere because we'll be back in like 10 minutes and we'll see what is going on with the.
This
I want to
place
say
just gets
wedding
weirder and
planners.
weirder as we go along.
It's like wedding planners, but not wedding planners. It's like gala planners.
Caterers. Caterers.
The palace
Caterers.
planners.
The cater. I know that there's like catering wars. That's something like that. But you're the band, so whatever. But
Palace
yeah,
crashers.
Palace Crashers. Hey. All right, Wedding Crashers. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Here we go.
Welcome back to our
Never mind.
telenovela.
Hello. We are back and we have a soul. Well, you know.
Hey, sister, soul sister.
We got our soul back.
are so-
Unfortunate
this is-
soul.
This is how Santos got their groove back.
Oh. Also,
Awesome.
check out. I have a cool shirt on. I don't know.
Roll
Does it
it
look like?
up.
Is it
Oh,
reversed? or-
yeah.
I love it.
I
It's
like
so
it.
fun. It's D&D. It's spooky.
And it's also beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
It's spooky shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
I
got-
get it. Back from the Grab says back from the vet, I see. Yeah, we told them about the head
They were
cannon.
trying to clip my nails, and I was screaming bloody murder.
Critical jail.
Dude.
Quit jail on your nail. Oh my god.
Honey, will you like critical jail? It makes you die like Brian in the sky.
Have y'all seen the videos of the Shiba dogs when they're trying to like do anything at the vet? Or
Oh, dramatic.
that's what Soul does. He does it.
Just super
Bloody murder
dramatic.
screams.
Sounds about right. So now that we's back, Renan, as you have these three individuals that are there in front of you. You see the man he put his hands up and like non trying to make it clear that he's trying to not be threatening. And then introduce himself as Maros. My name is Maros. This is Southalar. And this is Bohal. We are with the Brotherhood of Zul. Similar to you, Aliquin. And Aliquin, over your shoulders, like, I don't know anything about this brotherhood that you're talking about. And Maros takes us another step forward. Might be the case. However, we do have our similarities. And you and the we serve a similar patron. Renan, make a perception check for me.
Sight or sound?
Sight.
Thank God. 24.
24.
First one would have been a 10.
You notice that the two on either side, Southalar and Bolhal, both have something silvery and shiny attached on their backs. And your eye kind of catches the light a little bit, just barely, as they kind of shift where they're standing. And you see that they both have tridents.
Oh.
I just put my hand on the pommel of my sword. Doing anything yet?
Maros stares at you guys. And Aliquin, his hand on your shoulder grips a little tighter. And you can see Maros kind of like, is kind of similar in the same effect that you recall whenever you guys, whenever the rest of the party was speaking in Spies, remember, and you didn't have one yet. But you know how you could kind of tell that they were talking because the expressions on their faces would change? You see Maros's expression change. Like as if he's having a conversation with Aliquin.
No. Don't you think you can speak plainly?
Maros looks down at you for a second. Make a persuasion or intimidation check, your choice. However, just let me know which one you're trying to go for.
go with intimidation, nat 20.
Maros kind of raises his eyebrows, and Alec would kind of, his grip on your shoulder softens a little bit, and he kind of just whispers down to you, "It's all right." Maros brings his hands up again. "I was merely saying to your comrade that you needn't fear anything from us." He explained where the map went, and I explained that the Sisterhood cannot be trusted.
Intriguingly enough, they said the same thing about you.
Of course they did. I would expect nothing less from those forked-tongued devil women. Now, there is much that you, and he like looks up at Alcuin, have to learn. And where were these sisters when you needed guidance most? Where were these sisters when you struggled and floundered your way onto the shores? Nowhere to be seen. Now, had the tables been turned, I guarantee you we would not have left you to figure these mysteries out on your own. Eloquent's like, how do I know that I can trust you? You don't. But you have a trident. As do we. It's a gift of the Brotherhood. Surely that's enough to buy us a few moments of your time. We promise, and he looks down back at you, Renan. We mean you nor him any harm. We merely want to confer with our lost brother, but for a moment, within eyesight of you, if that would make you more comfortable.
If he would like it, then I'll allow it. Just be prepared for a few simple truths. The first one being, don't think my fear of the people in that city will keep me from bringing down heaven's wrath upon you. And I turned to Alcuin.
Alcuin like is still just staring at them, and then he kind of slowly turns his head to look at the trident that he has like leaning up against the back. He turns his head back to Maros and the rest. You have 5 minutes. And he grabs the trident and steps past you down the steps of the wagon and cautiously makes his way closer to the three gentlemen. Meanwhile, back at the castle, Sol and Iskra and Sonder and Humphrey, you guys find your way. You find that you are kind of standing there. The other monk guard that is with Valravn is now kind of split distance between Valravn and you guys, but is not. So he's probably about like 10, 15 feet away from you guys. So you guys have for the moment a brief moment of alone time as Valravn is currently talking to Elael.
What do you think, Colin? You've been pretty quiet in the garden. This ballroom, probably the place to set up for us? Or is the garden better?
I tend to favor gardens more than anything, but I will admit the ballroom looks pretty good.
It's a beautiful ballroom. It's like that polished wood for the entirety of this space, these dark mahogany wood panels. And then this like brilliant white and gold like roof that kind of go up to this like the very church-like cathedral-like points at the top where these really brilliant chandeliers, these crystal chandeliers hang from the ceiling. It looks very, I mean, you're in a castle, so it's very much what you would expect from a very fancy place.
What would make it look better is a bunch of flowers. So, druid craft. I'm just kidding.
Are there...
Somebody put the cone back on.
Oh, is that what an anti-magic cone is?
Someone needs to draw that as a meme. Renan.
I told Marvin to draw it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Like, please use mage hand to scratch. No can do.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Is there like an elevated or lowered like performance area here in this ballroom? And what are there any like? Is there like a loft space above it? Is it just wide open?
It's just wide open space.
God, we can't perform in these conditions.
God. There is a little like space where it's a little elevated, like a little platform.
And what do we got in terms of entrances and exits?
Here there appear to be 3. There is on the east and west side, there are the entrance and exit into the rest of the castle. And then what would be the north side would be the entrance into the garden itself, where you guys just came in from. The southern wall is one of those, is where it just kind of like scoops upwards, but it has set into it what look like windows, but the windows are actually mirrors.
Interesting.
Looks like a gas chamber if I've ever seen one.
I'll start to do blueprints for this area as well.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd hate to, if it got down to it, I hate to destroy this place to the injustice to the beauty here.
Are you talking a spice member?
Yeah,
Okay.
to everyone.
Kindred
Well,
comes back from across the garden being escorted by the other monk.
So just before we get into the eyesight of the others,
Mhm.
I just want to like kind of whisper to Daylor.
Yes, Delor.
I just really. So then, is the other one 2?
He looks at you and then nods very slowly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing you missed, Sol. Kindred's 20 questions with the guard as he was being escorted to the restroom. One of them was just like, there was no verbal responses to anything. And so then he asked him if he had taken a vow of silence, and he opened his mouth and there was no tongue there.
Do you hate it when that happens?
It's like, put your foot in you can like insert foot into mouth.
Is he male or is he female?
Other male.
They're poor girlfriends.
Oh my god. You're terrible.
What else is cut off?
Oh no! They got your tongue. Oh no.
Okay, so then we meet back up with the group.
Okay, meet back up.
Mm-hmm.
Buck's problem.
So,
So did y'all figure it out? Y'all got it all set?
I was able to get some blueprints, so we can go over those, see where we'd like to position ourselves.
Okay. Because, like, what time of day is it getting towards?
it's still the middle of the afternoon.
Okay. Because, you know, I don't want to wait too long to go by the shops and get some supplies that we might need for this before they start closing up.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
You hear, Valravan. So sorry to make you wait. Business to attend to. You see the councilwoman kind of walking up beside him as well. It's like, looks over at Kindred. Gives Kindred a very slow once over, like top to bottom.
I do the same thing to her.
And then looks at the rest of you. Her eyes go over to Humphrey. And then goes over to back to you, Iskra. Well, if all goes well, I will see you in 2 days. It was a pleasure. She turns.
Yes, we hope to see you there.
Good to meet
Hopefully,
you,
we'll have a
Aurora.
chance to speak after the performance is over.
Perhaps. Good day. She turns and bows, like polite. Does the little courteous like head bow, and then continues down the passageway towards where the rest of the council had like exited.
I return the bow, not with like the spectacular
crazy
flourish that I've been doing. That's mostly like a one per individual thing, you know. So
Iskra, did you see them fake ass weaves all in her hair? Like, you can tell they're done by amateur.
Whatever.
She got that Kanekalon.
Humphrey. North. Make a history check for me.
A history check? Oh no. Choose something I'm good at next time. Let's see.
She's the one.
Actually, let me see if I can use one of my my savers here. Yeah, knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d6 for it.
What does he said? I just hear like blah 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 blah
blah
blah blah blah.
I think he's got some modifiers.
17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the moment, whenever Aleo had looked you over, and it like you hadn't, it didn't happen the first time, but it was that second time when she kind of really looked you over. You have that like a flash of her face, but like distorted and interposed with itself to where it almost looks like it mirrored itself a little bit, or like came off of itself and kind of like moves around, and like, do you remember seeing her face before? Somewhere.
Oh shit.
A faint memory comes back of having been in a group of people with this woman speaking to you all. Just for the briefest of moments, the words don't come through, but you can see her addressing everyone from a raised platform of some sort, speaking down to this group of people. At her side, people dressed in red and black, mostly dark reds. That color is clear. You don't know who they were, but the Thayan Red Wizards are unmistakable. And then just as quickly as that brief instant of a flash, of memories came, it's gone. And you can see her like bowing and saying goodbye to everybody as she like turns and walks away. Valravn turns to the rest of you guys. I know time is short. I agree to your proposal. 2,000 gold for your presence and for you to play at the gala. And I will add an extra 500 gold to that as well. For the last minute nature that this is. Now, if you all are in agreement, then I will take you back to the tower. We will take your measurements, so we may find and have the most exquisite and best clothing made for you, for time is short, and these things shouldn't be rushed.
Of course.
Are we in agreement?
I kind of look at everybody else. Like, well, we don't do anything as a band without a consensus.
Do you need a moment, then?
I think we're all pretty sold on the idea, but, just a few minutes, please.
Of course. I will go out by the garden. Daylor, come with us. And he takes the other guard that was normally kind of sticking close to you. Daylor stays at the doorway to the garden. But then Valravn and his guard go a little further out by the water feature. So Daylor is probably about like 45, 50 feet from where you guys are at right now. He's like one of the furthest doors away.
And they're walking towards where I left Malzahar, so I'm just gonna be like, he's back in my cloak.
Okay. Yeah, they're walking to the water feature, kind of where they were at.
Well, I don't snap, but like,
Yeah. No, I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I say take it. I knew I undershot him. Sorry, guys, but just we just agree, because I want to hurry up and get the fuck out of here, because you're not gonna believe what I found out.
We need to know more about that woman.
And
Something off about her.
the only reason I would ask is because I've actually gone through what he went through plenty of times. Would I recognize that sense of like flashback?
Make an insight check. See if you picked up on it.
Okie dokie. 6.
Probably not.
Okie dokie.
Good to know, I say at not Humphrey. It's like, I guess no sense lingering here then. We can talk about it more later.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay with the plan to continue.
Thanks, Colin. I wouldn't get you.
Does this mean I have to wear shoes?
No.
I'm sure we could accommodate. You can be that guy in the band that doesn't wear shoes. But then
Yeah,
Definitely
that'll be your
100%,
thing.
100% have seen that guy in the band. Like, why is he
just
not wearing
foot covers.
shoes?
They don't actually have shoes. It's just a drape over the top.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's go then. Okay. And I kind of clap my hands together and like shake it off. And like grab Kindred by the waist and be like,
Oh no.
and walk out that direction.
Kindred getting dragged backwards. Take me.
Is she wearing that dress?
Not yet. No, not
Okay.
yet.
I'll as we start walking back over to the two, I'll kind of nudge over to Sonder with this deepening kind of like heaviness kind of starting to fill my chest and shoulders. I'm really worried about what I just saw.
I feel it
I don't
in my
know.
fingers. I feel it in my toe.
But yeah, I'll lean over to him and just quietly. I'll be as much help to y'all as I can. However, something is wrong about whatever it is between that woman and I. I need to know more before we leave. So,
Maybe we could ask the captain about this woman. Nonchalantly. See if we can get a hint on her.
I give him a
Despite the
slight
nighttime.
nod.
I got an odd feeling about her too.
Alrighty. So you come over to Varavan. Yeah.
You.
All right. Yeah. He turns to you, open arms open. It's like, so, what was the consensus?
We are so excited to accept your offer.
Excellent.
And play for all
We
these
say yes
wonderful
to the
people.
dress. No.
We'll do it with 1,000 gold. Take it or leave it.
He's bringing the number down. Excellent, excellent. That brings me great joy. So let us go on with our next phase of this plan, to get you the finest garments that one can find here in Veltalar. Let us go. And he like
Potato sacks. Got it.
starts walking back the way you guys had come through the garden.
As we're walking, I just, small talk about the theme of our outfits. So the Yearwood Fae look is going to be all right then? Like,
Some might find it in bad taste, perhaps, considering the disappearances of citizens in the Yorwood, but I kind of like the level of whimsy that it brings. Especially being this suddenly goat's theme of a traveling band from beyond the edges of the known cities.
Red. I kind of shout out to Iskra, aka Dahlia, and then I kind of clear my throat. I mean, I think we would look great in like darker colors like that red, right, guys? Like, I think y'all would look great, I should say. Yeah.
not bad. Humphrey, you might be onto something there. We should talk about it more.
I do kind of like this idea, as much as you have this element of the Feywild to your side, but perhaps in tones of red to show some support of the Thayan
Right.
Empire and our dignitaries visiting as well. I'm sure that a nice balance can be found. For sure.
A Thayan's version of the Feywild, if you will.
Exactly.
The
What's-
Feywild.
The Feywild. I kind of like that.
Oh, they wild.
That would be a good band name, actually.
I can't.
I am merely a purveyor of the arts to the people that are in desperate need to see and hear these sweet sounds that you make. But first things first, Red's Feywild. Our team will have their hands full in providing you with these garments, these fine, fine garments. But I have no doubt that they will be up to the highest specifications. He kind of like, he seems to be now thinking to himself as he's like looking over you guys as he kind of walks along, and he's just kind of nodding. You can tell, kind of thinking about this whole image together. But you are escorted outside the castle, back towards the tower. Anything else you guys are wanting to say or ask?
So he takes our measurements.
If there's nothing else between here at the castle and going back to the tower,
Oh no, I'm good.
okay.
I don't
Then
think so.
Ooh,
Alright.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna flip a copper piece into the fountain as we go.
okay. M- Let's see. I have this paper here for a reason.
You've unlocked it.
The Chamber of Secrets.
And with that, the celestial realm gets pulled into the mortal
God.
plane. Congratulations.
Sonder, as you guys were walking, you did see that there was a large fireplace. You
Nice.
didn't pass by it particularly, but it's in the entrance hall to the castle. There is a large fireplace there. So you kind of
We
like
can stop by
you
there next time.
turn to the right into a hallway that kind of led you to the gardens, and this was further up, going straight past that right that you had taken. But you did see a fireplace there.
Okay. Oh, the woman that we had seen earlier. She seems very well kept.
Alael?
Well,
She is one of our greatest advocates within the council.
for music and entertainment. And
For the watch
for-
in general.
for the watch. Okay, that's good.
And she is an extremely exacting woman. Which has brought her to this position of power, as it were.
She seems like someone who should be in such a position.
It was well deserved and hard fought for.
Hard
Also
fought for.
seems to be a,
Do we mean politically or?
of course. I imagine.
Of course. He kind of just smiles and doesn't say anything else.
I mean, she definitely looks like she would know her way around a blade.
You say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She demands attention where she goes. Like
He kind of laughs
she has
out
this
loud.
presence about her.
Kind of laughs a little bit. Ah, indeed. Very astute. She is quite capable of defending herself. And getting what she wants.
Ambitious.
If she's a purveyor of the arts, we surely are looking for sponsors. If there are any like her who are willing to invest in our music.
I'd
Absolutely.
tempt Sonder if I'm next to him.
She is supportive, but she doesn't have the same appreciation that I do.
Understood.
What about for public relations?
Of that, she is quite good at managing a crowd. She has a way of speaking with people. especially in mass. Capturing the attention.
Is he alluding to the fact that she casts mass suggestion and things of that sort? Like, is that what he's like hinting? Wink, wink.
He hasn't really. I mean, the phrasing
Insight
you
check?
could say. Yeah, insight check. You could.
Okay. Oh my god. 1.
Who knows? Your mind kind of can't help but think it just because of your
Me?
arcane persuasion, and it's you. But at the same time, like, who knows?
Well, if she
Humphrey, I
couldn't
like
get-
you, man. Do you want to run our merch table? I like totally veer off topic. Maybe that's what distracted you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Sounds fun.
Perfect. You don't mind if we bring Humphrey, right? I mean, he was very polite this entire time.
Well, Raven looks over at Humphrey, and at first there's like, I guess, those of you who are paying attention, there's just this very like serious expression on his face as he kind of just quickly looks you up and down, and then in that brief moment of like stony exterior, a small smirk corners at his lips. Like, I don't see why not.
He's become the official mascot of our group anyway.
I'm
thought our
sure
mascot
you
was goats.
understand as a fan of music. I mean, what an opportunity. We didn't actually play anything today, so we wouldn't want him to, miss his whole chance on hanging out with us and like actually not get to be behind the scenes at a show,
Just like that counselor woman. I could be an ambassador for Suddenly Goats. And I
Don't
smirk
get
kind
ahead
of
of
at
yourself.
the captain's way and just kind of
You gotta
bow
earn it.
slightly.
You got a long way to go. Don't think about this just yet.
Anita's right. We'll talk about that.
Hang in there and then give him a hearty smack in the back.
It's like your hand, like the half the size of his back. He's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
North just goes flying across the ballroom.
Yeah.
Good game, coach.
Perfect.
Keep dreaming big, though.
All right. So, if there is nothing else, you are taken not inside the tower once again, but into one of the side buildings, like adjacent to it, and your measurements are taken of everybody. Of the band members. Humphrey, are you wanting to get outfitted also?
No, actually, is it the monk that escorted? Well, I guess it doesn't matter which one, but are any of the monks still around?
Oh yeah.
Then
The
I'll kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna say the offer has been made for the band members to get since you are not technically part of the band, they don't say anything, but I don't know if you were wanting to. Or not.
Come sit over here
Yeah,
by
no,
me.
I
Come
figured.
sit. Get out of the way. I have something to tell you.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll. If there's a waiting room, I'll go and stand here.
Yeah, you
We're
can
just
go.
sitting there
You're
watching them get measured, I
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
Taking in the sights.
All right. So then measurements are taken, and by this time you're looking at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. You're free to go. Captain does tell you that if there is anything else that you are needing, to either send a messenger to the tower or come and try and find him, because he will be there. He is stationed there. So if he is not available at the moment, then someone will know how to reach him or get message to him as quickly as possible. So you guys have the rest of the afternoon. You're probably looking about 3 or 4 in the afternoon at this point by the time you guys are done with your events Renan, just as a quick thing that the 5 minutes passes outside, just outside of earshot. You can still see them. They do not walk further away than your line of sight, but they are still just barely at that range where you can see the shapes of them, even through the fog. And eventually, hold on. And eventually, Alquin walks back towards the wagon. The other three walked back into the mist.
Is everything all right?
You can see this look of like confusion and deep thought in his face. He kind of nods and then like moves up past you on the steps of the back of the wagon and goes inside. Just kind of sits down. The trident there in his hands. He's kind of just like staring at it, like rubbing it back and forth in his hands, kind of just like letting it kind of like rotate around, but doesn't say anything aside from the nod of affirmation.
I go into the carriage and kind of stand over him in a way, because you said he's sitting.
Yeah.
And looking out the door, out the windows. I then cast Cure Wounds just for the sake of healing him up some in case he took any damage from whatever he was going through.
You can see him sigh out loud, this like little bit of relief.
Healed 12 points if that does him any good.
Okay. Thanks for watching out for me.
Of course. I'll always look out for my friends.
Same.
I left you a touch of medicine that I ground up earlier. You may be a little less likely to enjoy it now that you're conscious, but wash it down with some water.
I appreciate it.
Be right outside. We're waiting to hear back from the party. They went to the Watch's tower, and they're meeting on the subject of the concert that they were invited to perform. I haven't heard anything from them in some time, but rest assured, I'll be in the air as soon as I'm needed if it comes down to that, especially now that you're conscious.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the response is like as if he kind of heard you, but he wasn't really listening. He just kind of just seems elsewhere mentally.
I kind of pat him on the shoulder and then go outside.
Okay. The rest of you guys, what are y'all doing?
So we're on our own, right? We're free?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have messaged Renan when we were waiting while they're getting fitted, just telling you we're going to be heading your way soon. But once we're free, I would like to immediately try to find Renan outside the city gate.
Okay. The rest?
So, why do we have to check out of the hotel again?
It gives me a creepy vibe, and I don't like the thought of they all know where we're staying and can ambush us.
Fair enough. I mean,
this at least maybe
makes us
keeps
seem
them
a
on their
little
toes.
suspicious, but if they're already suspicious of us, I guess.
Well, if you have not seen, or are they spies murmuring, or is this
No,
free
no,
loud?
I'm
we're
just
talking.
speaking out loud.
Well, if we were going to be ambushed, looking at that palace, I'm pretty sure they'd want to make a show. And if I've seen the watch long enough, if it's the Black Capes, then we'll do it in the night. If it's Captain Valrabin, I fear it might be something a little more grand. So it all kind of depends.
Because you've seen both. You have seen grand spectacle of taking, but you have also seen just quiet disappearance. And you have also known that if they had wanted to have taken you at any point beforehand, they've had plenty of opportunity when you guys were within the tower itself. It's a strange situation because of that.
So, I found out something rather weird.
Did too.
What's that?
So, the two monks, did y'all notice they never ate?
Not particularly, no. Why?
Well, I know of masters who, eventually they no longer need to feed or drink. They live off of their own ki.
I've heard of dragons that feed off the dewdrops in the morning.
Ah, yes. You know of the tale of Bahamut.
No, I made that up. Anyway.
Well, it's not the... Never mind.
Anyway, it's
Saunders
because
sinks into a depression.
it's because they have no tongues.
Hmm?
Their tongues are. When he showed it to me, what I know of is it like an arcane seal, more or less. Like there's a hint of arcane behind it, right?
No. It
It
looks like it
like
was
straight up
removed.
Cut out.
Like just
Like
straight
it
up
was
cut
cut
out.
out.
chopped and cauterized.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like the whole organ was removed, but
Yeah.
it was cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Why
wonder
would
if that's a
someone do
voluntary
that?
part of their order.
I don't know.
But I
If so,
imagine
like-
so.
That's a weird part. Who would want to be part of that order?
People are strange.
Yeah.
It's just
I
Anyway,
know monks
that's-
who have taken the silent oath. It's not,
Would
it's
I
not too
have-
uncommon for enlightenment.
Would I have any flashback or memory to seeing monks of that sort at any time during my happening?
Make a history check.
I'm gonna use another one of my special.
But
Oh shit.
is that Requiem for a Dream?
No.
12.
Oh.
It's about
12. Yeah, no. This new doesn't really come as, I would say it doesn't really come as news to you. It is kind of a common knowledge within the city that the monks are silent. It is assumed that it is some sort of very intense vow of silence, but the exact meaning behind it is unclear, or is more of like a lot of speculation. There's nothing that's specifically like fact.
So, Sonder, you said the lady who runs the Temple of Saloon is an ally?
Yes. She felt the presence of Galil. She had a dream about him. She knew that we would be coming here.
I think it is also a safe place to do magic if need be.
I'm with you, Soul, and I kind of want to head there for the night because I have some homework I need to assign some people.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Sure.
I was told
and-
I should.
Go ahead, Guy. What do you have to say? I'm curious about you.
Oh no, I'm back in boot camp. she called me guy. Uh,
I'm not your guy, buddy.
listen, guy. No, I believe Sana mentioned that I should visit her as well. So I should join you. If it is alright with y'all, of course, now that I can ask permission.
I walk up to him very slowly, very sternly, try to be as intimidating as I can, which I'm sure isn't that great. Get real close to his face and be like, don't ever sneak up right behind my girlfriend ever again, or I will cut you.
I laugh and then go, she's sort of kidding, but not really.
Right. We'll have to set some boundaries on these things.
I make a slight kind of smirk and nod to Sonder and Iskra, and then I kind of more serious tone to Kindred. If I wanted to sneak up on you, against you, you would have been the first. Kind of tap his shoulder.
When you do that, a snake comes out and almost like he's gonna bite your finger.
No touching.
Do you do it with your out of curiosity, North? Did you do it with which hand did you do that with?
Actually, I guess I could do a party trick, and I would kind of tap him sneakily with a with my Echo's hand behind him where he's not looking at me, because I'll be looking at his eyes and be like, I wanted to sneak up on you, and I probably would have produced it then. I would have done it.
Does the snake? Can the snake sense an echo?
Really?
You can roll a perception check to see for it to see if it picks up.
He's
Because
got blind
it's-
sight for 10 feet, so I don't know if he like senses an echo, like if it's got a presence about it.
Right.
What was that scary movie where that girl's in the shower and she's like running her hand through her hair?
Oh, she
then
feels like
feels
knuckles
another
or
hand.
something.
Yeah. That's what made me think of.
Is it mirrors? Black Mirror?
Hot in 4K.
Maybe it was just Ring or something. I don't know. The Grudge. I think it was
Oh.
The Grudge. Thank you, Tom.
Those knuckles. Ugh.
Yeah, she feels another hand already like there.
I would say no, because it's a magical translucent gray image.
Okay.
So it's not a
So it's not
physical
really
presence.
there.
Yeah, it's not really
Okay.
there
No.
until it like tries to make some sort of contact, I guess. But
It's
So
about
then
as
once it does
present
make
as a fart.
contact, the snake comes out and hisses and acts like he's gonna bite it.
Well, let us not start threatening each other. We're going to need all the help we could get. And then he looks over at North. Also, you would lose terribly. I'm just letting you know. I also would like to warn everybody to be careful of that tailor. It was a very ticklish experience, and I think he was doing it on purpose.
I thought I saw something with him. One
I
too
will
many back and
say-
forths. No.
is Kindred, over the time that you have spent like walking around, and as much as North has been like hooded or whatever, you would have noticed the are you still wearing your patch or no? North.
I'd be wearing an eye patch, but mostly
So,
I'd just kind of.
Yeah, just have
But
the hood.
it would
yeah.
be slightly noticeable.
You do
every
notice
now and then.
the pink skin on the face, and you have noticed on the occasion that one arm is human and the other arm is not.
Take my strong hand.
Just
This was
say
my loving
like
hand.
over this whole course of the day, like it would have like
Okay.
you would have noticed the hobgoblin like features.
Okay. So after our whole little interaction, I just kind of like, Aliquin, you doing better?
Yeah. And just got a lot on my head. In my head. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Well, you don't have
So-
any hair, so you don't have a lot on your head.
Ronan, he wasn't too much of a trouble, was he?
No, Not explicitly.
Okay.
Does he that there?
Yes.
No. So,
Okay.
how far are we from the temple from where Renan parked the car?
About a mile away, I guess. Because it is back in the city again and within the gated off section or the the other walled off section.
Well, I kind of really want to go to the temple for the night. Anyone objects to that, or should we just keep to ourselves for a night?
I think it would be good to go to the temple. Let us make preparations there just in case we may need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board. I kind of look to Aliquin.
Sure.
It would be a nice moment of reprieve from this city.
Then I'm gonna look at North. Like, before we go, while we're relatively alone still, you said you knew the councilwoman.
I don't know. Something, whatever happened to me, I just get these blips. She was in one. I saw her, she gave me that look. And I swear I've seen her before, but I haven't. It's hard to explain now.
In Goblin, I want to say out loud, directed at North. It's not quite all there, is it?
I respond back in Goblin, out loud.
Oh,
No.
Bits and pieces come depending on interactions, right?
I look surprised.
Lean over the Sonder. What are
The
they saying to
parcel
each
tongues.
other?
Parcel, yeah.
wait, what? Say again?
What are they
Uh,
saying to each other?
I don't know, but you said the tailor. He measured my bosom like 5 times. I didn't mind it.
I'm telling you, we'd have to be careful of him. I don't trust him. He was.
This is a
digging
whole Friends episode.
the- I swear it was very ticklish, and he kept doing it over and over.
Well, if he calls us back for extra measurements,
And prison. Anyway, what did you say in response back, North?
Some. In Goblin.
And then I'll reply back. This isn't my original skin either. And then just kind of leave it at that. We ready? We want to take the carriage, walk, leave the carriage?
You think that I'm leaving the horses here? You're
Well, I mean, just
I'm dead stupid.
well, I mean, take the horse, but like leave the carriage. That way, it's like set up, like hidden. You know what you're doing. I'm just asking.
By the way, when Alacrin woke up, where's Plume and Twiggy?
They'd still be in the carriage.
Okay, they're in the carriage. Gotcha.
I thought they were with you. You need to keep
No.
track of your pets, sir.
Well,
No,
I
Twiggy.
had them-
Twiggy
He
is
left
with
them. He left them to keep guard of like Aliquin.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then when I was clearing out the room, I took them all. I took both of them with.
Oh, I remember that.
I'll gather the horses together, and we can head that direction. And I'll just sleep on the carriage, or as close to sleep as I get. You know.
I miss being an elf.
What is
Okay.
wrong with sleep? It is a very fun thing to do.
Well,
It's so
we
much wasted
decided to go into
time.
an alleyway.
I wouldn't.
And I
So-
so
Oh, I have a name, right?
Of course you do.
Word of none.
Okay,
Now,
s-
would you like to say hello to your little friend? He's missed you.
Talking at me? Huh?
And I glance over at Kindred. I was like,
Oh.
I mean, if you want to go say hello to the bird too.
No, I
but
didn't know if you were
don't
talking
think
to me,
she
my
missed
bad.
a single thing.
Yeah, Plume looks over at Kindred and is just like,
Yeah.
Blows him a bird
Very,
raspberry.
yeah, just very like. You almost swear that the crow rolled its eyes at you.
Well, if you're taking the carrot. Okay.
yes, let me see Twiggy.
I'm gonna. If you're taking the carriage over that way a little bit, I'll just kind of spend some time with Plume. Try to get her to like me.
Like me, please like me. Do an animal handling check, please.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Remember,
yes.
she doesn't like
Oh.
saltines. She wants Triscuits.
No, I've got her like the charcuterie board, like
Charcuterie.
yeah,
Charcuterie
that
board.
one. Sharkeisha. Animal handling. 21.
21.
She's coming
Plume
around.
tries really hard to not fall
Be a complete and total.
for it, but
Uh,
it's almost like more trying to get you to like leave her alone almost that she like finally accepts some of the food that you offer.
That's all I wanted. Just a little affection. Then I'll leave her be.
Just like hops away a little bit, but not too far. He kind of keeps an eye out on you just in case you offer some more.
I'll just put a little bit like to beside my I guess I'm sitting like in the carriage, so just like beside me.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys take the the little caravan.
Wait a second, I got something to do too.
Go for it. Go for it.
Colin, Jax, I look at Sonder and Soul. He goes, we should probably practice.
A bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so busy with thinking of the other things that we needed to do.
What are
forgot
we
about
going to
that.
play for all the fancy people?
Well, we have some good songs. We should probably come up with something quieter, and then a big number. Perhaps a
I immediately thought, you know that scene in The Sweetest Thing when they're doing the wedding, and it's the 3 violins, and it's that one. She's like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm picturing.
Wasn't that a movie we said we were all going to watch together sometime?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Because I think someone hasn't seen it. Was it you, Aaron? Yeah, he hasn't seen it. Okay, yeah.
You're
What's a movie?
too big to fit
Oh,
in
what's
here.
a movie? All right.
It's getting very anachronistic, so whatever the how you say it.
Anachronistic.
Anachronistic. There you go. Words.
And
In Akron, Ohio.
words are hard. We understand.
All
Words
right.
hurt.
I have a song that I actually played for Aliquin while he was still out back in the Tet. I think that might be a good one.
sounds good.
Oh, that sounds nice. And I reach over and grab Alec Quinn's neck and I kind of like give it a good firm shake, like from the back.
Shake your baby syndrome over here.
Go your shoulder.
Aliquin leans
That's not
over and like rests his head on your shoulder. So
Oh. And then I hold him for a
Pukes
bit.
in his lap.
He's stuck there now for a little while.
Pukes in his lap.
okay.
There's some seriously rapey vibes going on right now on the fence.
All right, go on.
How is he feeling, by the way? Like, gonna kind of feel his forehead.
Make a medicine check for me.
The little towel that we had. Well, that was in the room, but I don't know if he has that anymore.
$13.
Seems all right.
Okay.
Since we're in an enclosed space, I'm going to softly practice.
Sure. Make a performance check for me. All of you who will
Hey,
be
practicing.
playing.
I'll catch up with Isker then with that.
That's an 18.
18. Sonder.
Okay.
And then I guess Soul if you're gonna play too.
Mhm.
Or practice
tell-
as well.
I'll tell Alcuin.
24.
Sorry if it gets too loud for you. If it hurts your head, let me know.
24.
24. Okay.
We're doing performance, right?
Correct.
Make sure to add your proficiency bonus. Yeah,
While
if
they're
you're playing your instrument.
practicing,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make my way earlier over to the temple.
They're all
'Cause
going
that
you're all
kinda-
going together.
Like right after they practice.
No, they're practicing in the carriage as they're going
Oh, as
to
we're
the
going.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I got an unnatural 20.
Perfect.
Nice.
I would say this is definitely a success. You practice.
practice.
I'm gonna say that the more you practice, then you will be able to play with advantage. On
Nice.
Good. I'm gonna
Yay.
need it because y'all should see what my modifier is for performance.
We're gonna do some in the open sessions. Very
All right.
exclusive.
So then you guys
Yes.
get to the Are you going back to the Temple Saloon, right?
Yeah.
During the trip, I will ask Kindred if what we should expect as a reply to the request we sent.
Oh,
It's still being sent certified mail. They haven't got it yet. Give it 5 to 10 business days.
I will say that you did get the reply that they are going to be working on it. It'll take at least a week and a half.
Noted.
I didn't say that to you yet.
You're so rude. Such a biatch. Okay, so you guys get to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they got it. They said it'll take about a week and a half, maybe more or less, just depending on when they can.
Overnight shipping charges and all that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to do with the 2,000 gold? 2,500 gold.
Well, we could send it back to a tet to help fund all of our operations and espionage.
We could donate to local artists.
The 500. That sounds good. Give back to the town that made us
We
famous.
are local artists.
Some of it to what was the band's name? Something about
And between the knickers and I,
right.
fuck
Give some
them.
of it to them for
She was a
giving us
bitch
this
whenever y'all got
opportunity.
your praise. She was totally like jealous of y'all.
Well, then you might think about donating some of it to the Temple of Saloon here,
Right.
considering the fact that the priestess is
Yes.
granting sanctuary while we're here.
Mhm.
Very much so.
Yeah. The temple, Mia's crew, I think they're all great options.
And then any local artists, just maybe like the orphanage or something.
All we know, they could be raising the orphans to be like trained killers for the Thayans. You want to fund that?
That sounds kind of cool to me.
Kindred, don't burn down any more orphanages, please.
What? What'd you say?
Kindred, please don't burn down any more orphanages, please.
Hey,
I'm
shit
sorry,
across me.
when did this happen?
You didn't even tell her? Goodness.
Technically, kindred, that is what happened to me.
He's lying.
North, you're just like, who the hell are these people that I'm making on? Maybe I
They're just
made a
like-
mistake.
I was taken from my orphanage to become a trained, I guess, not killer, but in a way.
What,
You're a killer. You punched a cat. You're a killer.
I
Live with that.
touched
forever.
the
Punch the cat.
I touched it, and it exploded.
It's even
I
worse.
would never harm an animal unless it meant harm to us.
You guys
can
get
harm
to
those. It's
Creepy
okay.
human hands.
Yeah,
It's
those are
meant to
okay
make
to
it
harm.
stop.
the temple.
What is an orphanage?
It's
Or
where
they
kids
don't
go
have
if they don't
this-
have any mommies and daddies because they died.
Why doesn't the village just take care of them?
Because the village is not as kind as your people.
How
Not
does it
everyone
work?
has a heart like yours, so
How does it work in your village, so?
All children are all part of the family. We are all family.
I like that.
Horde and the Horde is with me.
I'm gonna party trick my way out of the carriage since I'm probably shoved in between all
Counterspell. No.
this clown thing. Because they're just like
Well, you
talking
have
it up, planes,
you-
trains, and
you-
automobiles.
Well,
Here,
you
and
can
I'm just
always.
like,
You could
You
have
ha-
always sat up front with me. I'm just steering, like driving the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off while they're in that conversation, and just kind of start walking towards the temple and seeing if they're gonna follow or keep.
they are at the temple. As I said, I said it a little bit ago.
No. Yeah, since we're at the temple, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna
Oh, okay.
go talk to
just-
somebody.
Looking at you like, are you gonna knock?
Every time I hear party trick, I think of like little party confetti and like her and like
Yeah, that's exactly what he
That's
does.
what I do every
single
time I do it. I'm like
Mhm. Yeah.
like a
Oh, yeah.
kazoo.
False
I'm
worries.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the new kazoo player in the band.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah, that's for sure. You knock at the door. You knock at the door, and a young woman comes to open it with like lantern out. Hello.
I'm looking for the priestess. I was told to find her here.
I'll come up behind him. We're all looking for the priestess. We apologize. It's dark now. I
Some
assume,
of us
It's
with the
night,
lantern?
yeah. it's
places a
nighttime.
little more than others.
Yeah.
I apologize for our late arrival, but
Which priestess? There are several.
Sonder?
I just turn around. Yeah.
I got this. I wrote it down.
Yeah, damn it. We failed.
Dum,
No, I wrote it
dum.
down. I swear.
the Thays win.
This is the end of the campaign. This is it.
And TPK.
You can't give me a specific name. I'm gonna have to close the door. Good night.
I was like, you can't give me a specific name. I'm going to have to kill you
I
all
have
now.
it somewhere here.
Just like slaps a sorry you missed a sticker on the first person's forehead.
We're closed.
See you soon.
It's like in those video games where if you save in a really bad spot and it won't let you go back and finish the main quest, so you have to like start the whole game over.
Oh, I hate that.
We're gonna have to do this whole Velteller section again, guys.
Just start-
No. We forgot to save since Silvery Moon.
Oh no!
The high priestess.
Aliquin goes back into a coma.
Yeah.
She just
It's
kinda,
actually just Alec waking up from the coma.
her
It
eyes
was all a
this whole
dream.
her eyes kind of narrow a little bit. I'm sorry. Who?
The main priestess.
Can I do a history check to remember her name? Because like, I didn't write it down. It might be in my other book, but it's not in this book.
Let
I
me
write
just pull up
everything
that
in this book.
episode real quick and
Just scan for it wildly. She goes,
Can I give
"Are-
a description
What
instead?
is there a particular? I'm not going to go disturbing the high priestess now. She's asleep.
Not to disturb, but
Tell her it's
she
the
did
group from
say
the day
that-
before with the Night Mother. Night Mother? Is that?
Oh, That's Skyrim.
That's Skyrim.
I know. I was like, wait a minute, that does not sound right.
We are
Oh, like we're
basically
crossing over into Elder
hoping-
Scrolls all of a sudden.
The
You're
blood
the-
and sacrifice.
we are
It's
the band
late
of-
at night. We've had a long day. You know.
What is the secret of
Are you
life?
looking for sanctuary?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, we are
Sanctuary!
the band
that's
who
the word.
was seeking
Make a-
sanctuary.
Persuasion check. All of you.
The band.
Can
I
we
got this.
combine
I
it
got
into
this
one
persuasion
big
check.
number?
Actually, I will do a persuasion.
I mean, all of you
Currently-
have
I
to
got
do
this
one.
persuasion.
I'm currently
Okay.
just sitting
It's a
on
group.
top of the carriage, like watching all of this go down.
21.
18.
14. Glad I rolled high with that modifier.
Got a 6.
Okay.
Action
22.
reroll.
I just puppy eye her.
She
And
kind
then
of
you
like
got
she
something in
kicks
your
you
eye.
instead.
No
Hey.
dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
16.
16. Kindred, what was yours?
18.
18. Generally high enough. Minus the 6, but for the most part, it's like it is late, but you can come in. Do you need a place for? Which kind of points back at the horses.
It would be appreciated.
Yes, please.
Well,
They are really well behaved.
we don't have stables, but you can pull them around back.
We
There's a
bring them
place-
into the temple.
Thank you. We have our own food and whatnot for them.
I would hope so.
Um,
Once your driver has finished taking the horses back to the back, just come back inside. I will show you to where you might stay for the night. And
Thank
she
you.
I'm scowling at her from like the distance that we
Yeah.
are apart. I'm like, driver?
well, that being said, the woman introduced herself as Wenalea. And
I'm gonna write this down.
Queen Amadiah?
Wenaleah.
Wee
Uh-huh.
pew 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 pew.
And
Is that Kung Fu?
Yes.
No, okay, yeah.
Kung
Winalea.
Pao.
Yeah.
Winalea.
and she takes you to a side like little space where you guys can kind of set up bedrolls and stuff for the night. It's almost like a smaller, like not like a storage room, but it's just like this little empty room where you're able to stay for the evening. She says she will send for the high priestess will come and see you in the morning, but for you to get rest.
That is fine.
Anybody
And
else find it
bef-
weird that the high priestess is asleep at night? Priestess of
For,
the moon,
for the
and she's just
yeah,
like,
for a priestess of the night.
It is
Insight
pretty
checker?
foggy. She can't even see the moon tonight.
Maybe it's a new
Um,
moon.
No, but before she leaves, I just kind of like get her attention, be like, and you won't let the watch know that we're here, will you?
You see, with your insight, passively, you see it dawn on her that it's like, oh, no, you're fine and safe here. Now the little pieces are clicking
Here
together.
you
Like,
are
why
safe
you
and
were like,
warm.
it was kind of a
We
weird
will
thing.
keep
Why didn't
a
you
low
just say that?
profile.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll stay under the radar. And then we bring in all the sound equipment and the drum set and
Dropping the cymbals and all
Yeah,
that.
the extension cords.
The mics.
All of our
Yeah.
amps.
Meanwhile,
and-
I'll bring the horse and carriage.
Okay.
Thanks, driver.
Is the top of this temple above the fog?
There are parts of the temple that are above the fog. Yes.
Like on the outside of the building?
Mm-hmm. This building kind of, like the opera house in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
The a lot of the saloon temples have this kind of like those kind of moon-like shapes that kind of crescent out of the ground. So there are aspects of it that are above the fog.
Temple Above the Fog sounds like a Christian rock band.
I was gonna say the start of a horror movie, but go off.
That too.
All right.
Beyond
Temple Above the Fog.
So, as you guys settle in for the evening, a interesting day. What are you doing, North? Why were you asking?
Just because that's where I prefer to do my meditation.
Finding a high place.
Just
You're leaving
like the
for the
highest
night?
building I can.
Hey, Renan too.
You're not
Gonna
gonna
have to
stay here
fight
with us.
Renan.
You're
It's gonna
leaving
be
for
like
the night.
2 birds fighting over a branch.
Yeah. The party just wakes up the next morning. North and Renan have just spent all night duking it out up on top of the temple. Like, this is my spot. I called it.
It's
So
it's my
before
spot.
Like, is that the roosters? And it's just me and him on top.
before you leave us, North, I'm gonna grab your attention and cast Charm Person.
On me?
Yes, you.
Oh
What a whore.
my god.
That's Kindred.
I want answers.
So
He wants
a
to soul
wisdom-
bond. All right.
wisdom- Wisdom saving throw of 17.
Do we see Kindred doing any sort of spell-like thing?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't-
well, it's kind of I think Charm Person is a little more on the subtle side, but you do see like how do you get his attention, Kindred?
Let's see. It's verbal and semantic. So I guess like in your while you're trying to leave, I just want to like tap my hand on your shoulder and kind of like turn you around, and you just see like a tiniest little wisp of like an aura, and my words linger in the air just a little bit longer than they should, and I cast it.
I thought you were gonna
I
be
got a
like,
3.
hey, you, look over here.
You got a 3?
Oh no.
Okay, so you are currently effectively charmed.
Charmed
Son
as
of a bitch.
fuck.
I'm in.
Son of a bitch. I'm in. Perfect. So,
Are there to see that?
oh, I mean, it's yeah. Everyone's kind of like in this little side room, so yes. But you just see like the magic kind of just gonna infuse into North's eyes for a minute, and then North just smiles at Kindred. So you have advantage on ability checks to interact with the creature socially, and they view you as a friend.
I
Best
do not
friends.
know why I was surprised by this. I should
Have a seat
known.
with us. We should talk.
That would still be a
Alright.
persuasion check.
Cool.
We're not
I was gonna
go
say fuck
claim the
you,
perch
but
now.
Awesome,
We're
buddy.
not gonna claim the top the perch now.
Oh yeah.
to show that I'm at ease, I usually don't do this with especially a group of people that I don't know. But because I am charmed, I'll have the hood and the patch off, and so everything's just kind of out. I'm just like,
Yes,
Okay.
headphones.
So you see that like this this like quarter portion of the face is just hobgoblin. It's very obvious hobgoblin eyes.
yeah, it's like the
Graham.
Prince. It's like the Prince Zuko, kind of red here, and then it goes up into like maybe a little tuft of all that. Oh no!
Nice.
Well done. Well done. That was really great. For now until eternity, anytime you charm person, I need you to go.
And then you gotta shake a bag with like some stuff in it.
Oh my god,
Some
it's
catnip.
amazing.
That's charm tabaxi. That's different.
Charm
Yeah.
tabaxi.
Oh,
Get a can and you open it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. So after you sit and just kind of relax yourself, I'll do the same thing and just relax and just be like, so how long have you been following us? What made it obvious? Why us?
Well, I'd say ever since you got to, and what was
Palmyra's.
how far ago? Yeah,
Yes,
It'll
ever
probably be
since
like a little before then. Like, what's the day they got into town?
it was
Because I
no,
probably would have noticed
it
like
was
a new
you
set, but I
just
wouldn't have focused unless they went.
it was just you, Renan. You kind of followed Renan because Renan kind of stuck out whenever Renan had gone to Palmyra's, and so then you had followed him back to the inn. Just kind of like curious because a person with wings is not exactly a usual sight. And then that kind of led you to watch them from like see everything else that happened that transpired with the
Like on
cat.
a number scale, maybe
I
a
don't
week
know.
or so, a couple
I
days.
mean, I
No, it's
kind
been a
of
couple days at best. Because they haven't even been in town for a week. They've literally been in town for like 3 days.
Well, ever since that winged one, Renan, he stopped into my grandmother's store, and I've been watching y'all ever since.
Oh, so that's your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
How is she?
Don't know now. Y'all
Good.
kind of fucked that whole thing up, but it's fine. We're it's okay. I think she thinks I'm dead, but I'm not sure.
Why?
Um,
Why does she think you're dead?
I should be dead, or at least that's what I think.
Because of
I don't know. Yeah,
so
yeah, that
she doesn't know your current state.
I don't know my current state.
I believe you on that. Same situation.
I'm just lying
Oh.
in my bedroll watching this.
You're like, this is like watching nighttime television. This is the best drama.
Got the popcorn.
2020 with Barbara Walters.
Yeah, 60
going
minutes.
to
Here we
say-
go.
I was going
Did you
to say
roofie
it's
my
just
joint?
necessary,
Like,
but it seems necessary.
What was that, dear?
I was going to say is this necessary, but I do think it's necessary to get to know him better.
who, me?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
you're a cool guy.
Oh,
I
thanks.
like you.
You just need to work on your approach. Especially
What can I
with
say?
overcautious wizard.
Well, y'all kind of came into town uninvited, and stopped by my grandma's. Like, I'm not mad.
Well, I mean, she had a sign that's like linens, and we needed linens. So, I mean, like, we were trying to give her business.
A slut dress.
Yeah.
And her cat is adorable, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't punch her. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Well, after the other cat, I had to make sure.
Hey,
That's fair enough. They
But,
quite a many sightings around the city, but the other ones are.
If anything, Renan stayed guard around your grandmother's house for most of the day, making sure nothing happened to her.
Yeah, I
it
figured
was
he'd
never our
stay
intention to draw the eyes upon her from the watch.
Like I said, I'm not mad, but
So then,
y'all put her in danger.
do you
So
have any recollection of before the whole change?
not too terribly. I mean, maybe a couple blips here and there. Even some of whenever I first got out is a little hazy, but I've just gotten flashes of
Certain things
Like-
and certain people will bring that out more the more
like
you
that
interact
woman
with them.
today,
Very
that
much. Who
counselor.
what did you see when you saw her? What did you feel?
I don't know. It was like something on the back of my neck just chilled, and it stood my hair on end, and suddenly I wasn't where I was standing. I was in a crowd looking up at her. She was saying something, but I don't know what. I just know that maybe it was an address of some sort. Red is what I saw. Red wizard
Like
red.
blood? Oh.
Clearly something involving them.
So then that lady is not to be taken lightly at all.
No, that's why I want to know more about her before any hasty decisions are made between y'all's group, just because this is still a town that I am close to, and I have a bone to pick with a few.
Well, I just wanted to get a sense for you with my truth serum. And to show no ill will or intentions, I will do this right in front of you, and I would like to cast sending. I will send a message to Neferu asking if she can find any and all information regarding Alael. She can.
Elil Valerius. Where did that voice come from? Elil Valerius.
Vicaris.
Vicaris.
Okay. So let me mark it off real quick so I keep track. Cast sending to Neferu for that. And then I'll cast.
Excuse me. I was just gonna say, and with me being charmed, I'd probably poke little fun while you're casting a message. I'm like, oh no, I don't really want to hurt you or anybody unless they're like the watch or of the like. I mean, she over there was scared really easily. Like, I wasn't expecting her to face, which is anyway. It's a long. Never mind.
Okay, good.
So you're not planning on, trying to act against them while we're there, doing our thing, right?
Well, I can't now. I do recognize that as a group, I am now part of y'all's faces, which wasn't my intent, but you guys are pretty good at spotting me out, so...
You win some, you lose some. And,
you don't plan on, like, doing a self-righteous sabotage type of deal thing when we are performing, are you?
No.
You'll see our plan through with you as best you can, right? And then I'd like to cast a second sending to Hibby back in Silvery Moon, asking if she can find any...
First.
Okay.
Neferu.
Is she there? Oh.
First Neferu. She replies. Darling, it's been so long since I've heard from you. It's so good you're alive. Who the fuck is this that you're asking me to look for now? I'll see what I can find.
How many words does she get back?
She's
It's 25.
She gets what she wants.
No,
so she used. Of course. That's great.
And then Hibby, you're asking what?
To research as much as she can the watch.
Do you know what time it is?
Research time.
Hibby basically is just will do.
Love you.
All right. So, you guys settle in for the night. Anything else you wanted to ask?
After I cast those two sendings, I'll end the spell early on him.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say, how long does this last?
It lasts for an hour. But
this is really hard.
Now that the spell ends, you know that you've been charmed.
Yeah. So we kind of I know I'm sure you understand, but we need to make sure.
I'm staring at Kindred as I do this.
Just like cover your face all together.
And then, let's see. I'm going to try to intimidate Kindred now that I've been charmed, or uncharmed.
What are you saying? What are you doing?
Well, let's see if my scowl will do anything.
I
Are
cast
you ju-
blind on myself. No.
Are you just trying to like give an ugly face?
Like, kind of scare him a little bit. I mean, like, don't ever try that again.
I just wink at you.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check
Alright.
against your insight.
Against what now?
Intimidation
his
against
Kindred's
insight. Yeah.
insight.
Ten.
Oh,
10.
thank God. 15.
All right. You can see he's very upset with you. Very upset. But in typical Kindred fashion, you're just like wink a little. Yeah. And north, you go outside to find yourself a high spot.
By this point, he would find that Renan has already like perched at the pinnacle.
It is not.
Well,
Yeah, probably from
you
where
probably
I'm staring
can't
at
get.
Kindred.
You can't get to north. Probably can't reach the point that Renan can. You can find some high vantage points, but
If I use
oh,
my
fair
Echo
enough.
Avatar
Don't
for
make this a
not
pissing
even 10
contest
minutes.
and get us good discovered.
Yeah.
But
All
I
right.
would probably just be staring at Kindred and then just switch places and I'll be near none. Like, is he always this much of an asshole?
And turning. Whom do you refer?
That damn goblin.
I am a she. Get it right.
And a hobgoblin.
Oh, I just said goblin for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like her anyway.
Yes, she's always been a little bit troublesome. You wouldn't believe what she did before we left the last city that we were in. We were trying to be inconspicuous, and I was trying to not be associated with anyone. But of course, Kindred decided that she would turn herself into me.
Apparently,
And
that struck a
so-
nerve.
And so, the level of banter back and forth consisted of me informing your grandmother that she was dropped on her head when she was a babe.
Hmm.
Need a spin-off series called Renan and Banan.
The Adventures of Renan and Bananan.
Yeah, consists of Renan killing
On bros.
Kindred.
Renan, the Renan Bros.
So,
Yeah, Renan Bros.
Plume saw that whole interaction between Kindred and North, and now Plume respects Kindred just a little bit more.
Oh. All the traits. No.
Ay. All right. Well, as you guys settle in for the night, anybody, are you guys just kind of passing out, or anybody staying up? I mean, you're kind of in a safe
Oh.
place, so
I still cast alarm on the doorway and do my like stuff for the night.
Can you do
as
the-
long as nobody within the party. What? Well, what's the setting for the alarm?
Myself only, mental. What's that
can you do
cylinder?
the thing for my staff?
Turn around.
What are you doing with his staff that requires him to turn?
You're not
around?
here.
Good God.
You're not here.
God. Oh.
Anyway,
And I touch the staff and cast it at the same time I smack him on the ass.
Of course you do.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
feeling myself tonight, okay? Like, I'm in my film.
all
You're
right.
feeling more than yourself, sir.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm up with Renan too, me being around the group for this long, would I have noticed that they kind of have a way of communicating to each other without speaking?
Possibly.
Speaking without permission.
You've noticed a lot of silences. But yeah, I would say you
Awkward
probably would have figured. Yeah, you figure they probably have
Body
a way
language.
of talking.
Then, with me being up in Brennan's personal space,
Stay safe.
I noticed
Communication is nonverbal.
y'all kind of are silent, but like you're talking to each other at the same time. How do y'all do that?
Oh, it's a neat little trick. I will admit to that. Goodness, when I first met them, they kept exchanging these glances that seemed to convey messages of far more than just a look. It turns out that and I point out the spy's murmur. It's
His
a
hearing aid.
magical device of sorts. It allows us to communicate amongst each other within eh, little under 2 kilometers.
If I am to
Someone
help
went all
y'all,
metric system.
What'd you say?
if I, sorry. Anywho, yes. If I am to hang with y'all for the rest of y'all's little tete-a-tete in this town, how would I be able to talk to y'all without any of the watch giving me a look? Because I can't always be in character for y'all.
Afraid you may just have to. In order to get another one of these made, we would have to get in contact with some friends of ours.
I guess they wouldn't sell it around here.
No,
Makes sense.
don't think so.
Well, hopefully we'll figure something out. Because if y'all can trust me, then I guess I have no other option but to trust y'all.
You know, one thing that I have been meaning to say is I'm sorry for your loss of memory. I've got 420 some odd years of memories, and you don't even have an inkling of all of yours.
Well, you can't really lose something if you forgot about it, so I manage.
Perhaps one day things will all just fall back into place. It's funny how you find things that you didn't know were lost.
I guess we'll just see then.
True enough. What are you doing up here? Shouldn't you go get some sleep?
Uh, well, I've tried. I don't know what they did to me, or how I'm even alive still. I'm guessing it just has something to do with this, and kind of show him because I guess he wasn't down there with us
No, it wasn't.
to kind of see it in full. And so I kind of paraded out. Um, I don't need. Haven't eaten or slept or really anything ever since the happening. It's all I really know.
Would I have come across anything throughout 400 some odd years similar to what he is?
No.
Well, you don't have to sleep. At least I'm not the only one who in the party that doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah, I tend to get to a good, I guess, bird's nest, if you will, and kind of smirks at his wings as a playful banter, not like as a rude gesture. It's like, and just kind of take it all in. You know, I can't remember anything, but at least this is something that I don't always want to forget. Nice peace and perfect harmony.
That's a remarkably Um, similar mentality to mine, under the god that I serve and worship.
And who is that?
His name is Hirsonos, and he's a god of the sky, freedom, justice. He sent me here. And as much as it seems to have frustrated my party, uh, this, and I gesture down at the fog, was one of his blessings.
Yeah, I figured after so many years of me being here that this isn't a normal type fog, but
Hmm.
godly is one way of putting it.
Well, the beauty of it being sent by a god is that it's not technically magic.
And the watch would be unwarned.
Hmm.
Tricky. I like it.
All right. So as you guys settle in for the evening, you two on your high perch, super high up in the high reaches of the temple. The rest of you in the room, inside the temple, in the sanctuary. Alarm placed. Everyone snuggled up in their bedrolls. We will end there for tonight.
Sander will do his like daily meditation and prayer before bed.
Okay. Sounds
And
good.
I will be relatively quietly because we're trying not to draw attention, despite the fact that I basically look like a freaking gargoyle up here at this point.
You
But
do look like a gargoyle.
not the point. I'll be quietly singing old elvish songs that I know from home.
Okay.
On that note, does North have any scary dream nightmare stuff whenever he does his meditation thing for 4 hours?
We'll have to get to that next time.
Scary.
Yeah. So, once again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. There is going to be a little after credit scene.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah.
It's just me going. Pss, pss, pss.
Trying it on everybody. This one's gonna be a little two-parter. And then, so we'll see you on Thursday for Rescuers and the next little adventure with trying to find Galil and what Galil is doing currently in the depths of the abyss.
Probably cooking something
In the
random.
realm of monsters.
Is that what the I'll take bets for what you guys think he's doing.
He's probably overreacting and overthinking something.
Using his own shit as biofuel.
Well, okay, interesting. All right, well,
Hunting something.
hunting something
Or cooking something.
or cooking something, probably. These are
Why
all
not both?
And using his own shit as biofuel for the
Oh my
cooking.
god. All right, well, we'll see you next time, guys. Stay groovy. See you on Thursday. Make good choices. And don't
Or
forget to love
don't,
each
but
other.
don't get caught.
And I
But
cast
watch
Charm
the end
Person.
credit scene.
Yes, I watched the
I'm gonna.
credits. Yeah. All right, let me get the right thing here going. We cut. The camera goes back in time. We cut to Valravn being pulled aside by Lael. And she looking over at the strange crew of people that she had just met. Are you serious, Valravn? These are the ones that you have chosen for the gala? His stony face cracks into a smile. There is more to them than meets the eye. He looks kind of over his shoulder a little bit, then back to her. Tell our friends I have some interesting acquisitions they may be interested in. You see Alael, she stands a little taller and then nods slowly. That makes more sense then. I trust your judgment. And he puts a hand on her shoulder. As well you should. Now let's not let them stay waiting too long. He turns back to his people. Back to the suddenly goats. Sorry to keep you waiting. The camera shifts through time once again. And this time, it focuses in on the sleeping group there in the temple. And this time, waking up, Aliquin stirs, rubbing his temples. Looking around. He grabs his trident. Digs into his pocket and sets an envelope down on his bedroll. Goes over to his bag. Pulls out some more paper. Writes down some words. Looks around at everybody. Looks over at Iskra. Rolls the paper up and places it under her pillow. He takes his trident. Walks over to the wall. Trident facing downwards. He runs it across the line of the wall, muttering words to himself, and dispels the alarm from around the room. He swallows, waiting for a reaction. He goes over to the window. It's like this stained glass little window spot. Grabs his pitchfork, his trident again. Takes one last look at everybody. Looks back out the window. And this swirling black smoke envelops him. And he disappears outside and away from the party outside the temple. And that's where we'll end for tonight. See you Thursday.